Good blessed Saturday evening, June the 4th, 2022. It's about 6:06 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you like me or not. Whether you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't make YouTube videos. I don't get on social internet to look for thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't even get up there to look for likes or dislikes. And I take all criticism. When you go too far, you know, sometime I may respond and sometime I may not. Sometime when you say something ignorant, you know, too ignorant, I may say something ignorant myself to let you know what I think of you. But anyway, what I want to talk about today concerning my son, Brian Lamont Johns, I believe today make about 442 days since my son, Brian Lamont Johns, was found hung, lynched, murdered in Carbondale, Illinois on Friday, March the 19th, 2021 in the 400 block of Oakland, North Oakland Street in Carbondale, Illinois, in the hallway of the Gaslight Apartments on the 3rd floor in the hallway. The law enforcement officials want to tell you that my son hung himself. But common sense and science and facts would tell you my son was murdered and he was placed up there if you look at my YouTube videos. I'm coming again today because I be taking heed and I be watching the police news press releases in Carbondale, Illinois. And I looked at one with the chief, I believe it was yesterday, June the 3rd, because I believe June the 1st and June the 3rd, they had two individuals, separate shooting. They had two individuals that were shot in Carbondale, Illinois, and they've been having it for the longest. But you would let them, if you listen to the chief of police, Stan Reno, in his staff, you would believe that the shooting is down or there's no shootings at all. If you listen to Linda Flowers in the NAACP in Carbondale and some of them women groups, I say all them women groups in Carbondale, Illinois, that claiming that they are trying to help the community, black community at that, but all they getting is all of them connected to the city of Carbondale, which the city of Carbondale, they have city councilmen amongst these groups. They have individuals that's on commissions for the city, for the police and fire commission. All of them is connected together. SIU, Southern Illinois University, the top ranking SIU, Southern Illinois University campus staff and faculty. But I want to show you something. I'm going to have a video on here about 1 minute and 50-something seconds where you listen to this chief of police asking for the help of the community now. He asking for the, he asking for the help of the community on these shootings. Now, he don't really need the help of the community. He said that they can't do it alone. The police can't do it alone. Now listen to him real good. Now he asking for the help for the community, for the investigation of these shootings. But when my son was hung, they was just gonna cover it up under the rug until I came down there March the 24th, 2021, and said that I don't believe my son hung himself. Didn't really tell him I don't believe. I said my son haven't hung himself. At the age of 16, my son did 15 years and 9 months in the maximum security penitentiaries or prisons in Southern Illinois. If he was going to commit suicide, he would have done it in the Cook County Jail. Anybody know what the Cook County Jail looked like for a 16-year-old? Anybody know what a prison looked for like somebody, when he went, he was about 18 then, because he fought the case. But the bottom line, the only thing that they started doing, they said they had a death investigation starting on June the 24th when I came down there. The death investigation ended sometime in August of 2021, some 4 or 5 months. But now, when you look at all the people that they had investigating, the only people they had investigating is the people that I suspected of covering up his death or having part in his death, and that was the Carbondale Police Department. How is you gonna have somebody investigating something when a family member feel you have a part in it? I thought I could trust the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois. And I called and talked to the president, Linda Flowers, female from Chicago. Got the name, got the title Dr. Flowers on her name. But when I called her, instead of her meeting with me, her and some of the NAACP members, which they never met with me, never. And I found a complaint made of the 11th, 2021 visa email. They never met with me, but the day that I called her, the first thing she did was call the police department, and the police department called me and told me that some of my family think that my son didn't commit suicide. Now, I'm telling her that I don't trust them, but instead of her meeting with me or having some of her staff meeting with me, like they did on April the 11th, 2022, at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, they met with the national president of the NAACP, Derek Johnson. You know why? Because, see, they think themselves as being elites. You see what I'm saying? But when you a God-fearing person, all of our righteousness is like filthy rags. Ain't no big eyes and big you. But let me tell you about them now. When you look at that video and him asking for help for the community, it's been 442 days. Never once did they ask Linda Flowers, the police department, none of them black women groups or women groups. Ain't none of them never asked for the public's help. Only thing the Carbondale police did, the people that was giving me information and they seen my YouTube videos, the Carbondale Police Department, they went back trying to intimidate the ones that they know get high. You see what I'm saying? How do I know? Because I have videos of them. And let me show you another thing. Now, in these cases that they investigate now, these people that done got shot, they got the Sheriff Department investigating, the Jackson County Sheriff Department investigating too. Why they didn't have the Jackson County Sheriff Department investigating my son? You know why? Because they took part in his murder. You see what I'm saying? Linda Flowers, who belonged to the Rock Hill Baptist Missionary Baptist Church in Carbondale, Illinois, all of them, they are part of the city of Carbondale in the police department. All of them is working hand in hand with these white supremacists. You see what I'm saying? They accept, like here in Carbondale, Illinois, and in Charleston, Missouri, the white supremacists, law enforcement officials, and other white supremacist groups, they accept some of these blacks here, because they work hand in hand with them. All you got to do is give them a few dollars, you see what I'm saying? And they'll set up a person like myself. They'll set up a person like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you see what I'm saying? But let me show you what type of mind frame they have. Now, on Monday, June the 13th, Carbondale, these black women groups, you see what I'm saying? The Carbondale Black Chamber of Commerce, ran by Nancy Maxwell. A lot of them, Nancy Maxwell is the head of the criminal department, at least she was, for the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois. All of them work hand in hand. Just recently, Nancy Maxwell was with the chief of police, Stan Reno in Carbondale, and somebody else. They asked the people to come. They was going to march and protest about the violence. Wasn't but 20 people there. The police chief and one of his officers was holding the sign, and Nancy Maxwell and the rest of them was looking like fools because all of them peoples in Carbondale, Illinois, they didn't respect them. That's why only 20 people came. But let me show you something. On the 13th, which is Monday of June, they celebrating the Juneteenth, they say. They're disrespect to anything with black. You see what I'm saying? Them women groups in Carbondale, in the NAACP, in the high-ranking people from black people at the SIU, Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. They are disrespecting black people. Not all people, but for faculty and the high-ranking. Let me show you. For the whole week, from June the 13th to June the 19th, they having programs. The first program, they gonna be marching from, guess where? The sellout black church where Linda Flowers go, and their pastor who used to be the NAACP Logwood. They gonna be marching from the church, Rock Hill Church, Missionary Baptist Church, to the Woodlawn Cemetery. And they supposed to have a ceremony at the cemetery. Then they coming back, all right now, then they marching back to the sellout black Rock Hill Missionary Church where Linda Flowers attend, and most of all the other sellout NAACP members and City Hall employees. They gonna have a program there. Then on the 16th, they gonna have a movie. They gonna show a movie at 7 o'clock on the 16th. This in Carbondale. Out of all the movies during Juneteenth, guess what movie they gonna show? Some of y'all might agree with it, but I don't. You see, when they make a movie about somebody, what I do is look the history all the way into their death or all the way to that day. They making one of King Richard. Y'all remember who King Richard is? Venus and Serena's daddy. You see what I'm saying? They showing that movie, King Richard. Now see, if you look at what Will Smith did at the Academy Awards, you see what I'm saying, to Chris Rock. See, that's what the white supremacists want you to do. That's why they want them black folks to show King Richard. See, King Richard, Venus and Serena wasn't his only family. He had some more children that he left behind. He forgot about. They had a mother with cancer. You see what I'm saying? The girls couldn't get him to help their mother with cancer. I don't care what you went through. You're a millionaire now. You see what I'm saying? But they want you to look at that particular movie. You know why? Because they want all us to be passive. They want us to be passive like the NAACP national president, Derrick Johnson. You see what I'm saying? Linda Flowers. And all of them Carbondale, Illinois, NAACP members that follow behind them. They want them to be like here in Charleston, Missouri. Charleston, Missouri, the leaders here, and I'm talking about just the leaders that call themselves leaders, preachers that be in the newspaper all the time. They don't march about nothing. The police can kill somebody, you can hang somebody, they ain't gonna say nothing. But they'll march about me. But I want you to look at this video. Why didn't they, when my son got shot in June of 2020, the police that investigated his death, he went to the police, he went to the hospital. My son told them who shot him. He brought pictures up there. What better identification that you can get? He told him the guy's name. They gave him pictures, photos of 3 or 4 different people with that same name. My son pointed out the one that shot him. The one who shot him claimed that he was in Vienna, Illinois when my son got shot. They got his phone. His phone showed he wasn't in Vienna, Illinois. He was in the vicinity where my son got shot at. He lied. The individual that shot my son lied. But let me show you what they did now. Y'all know my son got found hung March the 19th. They didn't close the case. They just closed the case. The prosecuting attorney closed the case April of this year, 2022, saying that the victim is deceased now, and we didn't have no witnesses. My son, your paperwork showed my son, pointed him out. You same prosecuting attorney on the 24th of March of 2021, 5 days after my son was found dead, you put 2 warrants out for my son because he wasn't paying his fines. You know he didn't have no job, he was homeless. And for not showing up to court. You put 2 warrants out on him. Then it took you about the 26th or the late part of March to drop the warrants because he deceased. But let me tell you this here too. The white female and the black guy, her husband, that had my son food stamp card, y'all seen both of them on camera spending my son food stamp card in late April of 2021, 39 days after my son was dead. Y'all haven't yet arrested them or didn't prosecute them. Tell me why. You want me to tell you why? Because y'all know you had something to do with my son's death. You said you want people in the community to help y'all solve them crimes. My son told you who shot him. Whether he dead or not, the guy should be off the streets. But God don't gonna deal with him. But what you doing is, I just seen where Matt Dunning, the first Carbondale police officer, lieutenant that I was talking to about my son's death on the 24th of March of 2021. I seen in the newspaper in Carbondale, him and another white supremacist has been promoted from lieutenants to assistant chief deputies. You see what I'm saying? That's how they do it. And then Gerald Edwards, the chief of police, had me talk to him last year. They was on a 3-way. Gerald Edwards is a black individual that's supposed to have been a police in Chicago, Illinois, supposed to went to, grew up in Cabrini Green like me, supposed to went to an elementary school in the late 60s and early 70s, that I went to. And I thought he was talking to me to try to help me. But that wasn't the case. What they thought was by me talking to a black man that was a police officer that I don't hear nothing about what he doing. Don't no black law enforcement officials that I know of in Charleston, Missouri, or in Carbondale, Illinois, speak up about any of this wrong. But God gonna deal with them, y'all. Justice for my son, Brian Lamont Johns. And I'm gonna leave with this here. If you can ask the public for help for these recent shootings, you can ask them for help. You could have asked them for help for my son, but you never put it in the newspaper. And these programs that them black women have in Carbondale, Illinois, all of them ain't no different than the Ku Klux Klan. They sell out black women. Sell out black women. And I don't give a damn if their husband don't like what I'm saying, because their husband probably sell outs too. Peace be still.
And tonight, police say they need your help to prevent shootings and mass shootings.
News 3's Madeline Parker spoke to law enforcement about if you see something, say something.
It takes all of us working together to keep our community safe.
From the beginning of an investigation to finding key evidence, the most important part of solving a crime is you.
As the police department, we don't have all the tools and all the resources to solve every crime. So we need the help of our community members. We need them to tell us what they've seen, to tell us what they've heard.
The old saying, if you see something, say something, is more important than ever. Between gun violence, threats over social media, and other illegal activity, police say reporting something suspicious could make or break a case.
But there could be something that we do need to investigate. There could be something that a key piece of information or a person we've been looking for So it's really critical to really encourage that participation.
Participation from the public has been vital to local police in solving crimes over the years, and what to report can vary from person to person.
For our community members, it's really about what's unusual. What is unusual about this person or this person's activity? Is it somebody they've never seen before? Is it someone that's new in their neighborhood that's just acting suspicious? Or something that they just get that sense that something is wrong.
So in order to make each community safe, police say they need everyone working together to make that happen.
The police department cannot do it alone, and we need the participation and the help of our community members and our visitors to the city to work with us to keep our community safe.
In Carbondale, Madeline Parker, News 3.
Carbondale police say if you want to report a crime or any suspicious behavior, their hotline is monitored 24/7. That number is 549-COPS.